Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the management and staff of the Queen Vic, in association with Walford Investments, I'm very proud to present Pavel Douglas in I Shot Dirty Den.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pavel Douglas, soap opera and film actor, voiceover artist, comedian and street performer. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I shot Dirty Den. Well, I didn't actually shoot him. I had him shot.
Well, it was one of those head gangsters on a walkie-talkie type things. I hired a minion with a bunch of flowers, and I said, now, and he was shot. And then, 14 years later, he came back to life. Which just goes to show, if you want something done properly, do it yourself. On the 16th of June, 1988, I made my first appearance as Gregory Mantell in the square. I arrived, tall, suave, and every inch the West End yuppie, to make James Wilmot Brown an offer he could not refuse. It was to be a one-episode performance at the Dagmar. Some months later, and I was culling characters from the show faster than a producer with budgetary hemorrhage. Walford Investments had by now taken over the haulage business and also occupied the wine bar, formerly known as Strokes, where we had all sorts of salacious shenanigans, including bare-knuckle boxing. Oh, come on, son. Go on. It's it. Ooh. Brad, make that a pony on the tattooed biker, will you? Oh, and Brad, bring me in a bottle of chilled Moet and one glass. Do you think you can manage that, Brad? Bloody great close-up. Run to Duffs. Oh, yes. I'm in the Duff Club, you know. Not many actors get that. The world of soap is unlike anything else an actor will ever have to do. From one week or episode to the next, you never know if you will live or die, laugh or cry. You might get married or have a child from a one-night stand, or even get killed by a falling aeroplane. As such, it's very much like real life. I only hoped that I wouldn't die in my sleep. No chance to show off the acting there. No, what I really wanted was, a car chase exploding in flames, dying in a pool of blood, or falling from a tall building and writhing for a final farewell to Walford, cradled in the arms of a weeping Ian Beale. My first recollection of my parents on stage was at the age of 2. We occupied an apartment under the rooftops of the Stary Theatre in Krakow, Poland, the city of my birth. It was an adaptation of a Molière, and I watched in fascination through a tiny window above our kitchen table that offered an imperfect view through the lighting grid in its technical silhouette symmetry of the stage far below. Mamushu! Tatushu! I would cry, high above their eloquent orations. They imagined that I was asleep far above, two realities in unison, linked only by love. Tatushu! Mamushu! The apartment was up 7 flights of stairs, with no toilet and no running water, all just about manageable until my father's parents came to stay. Disaster. One day when my mother came home, having queued for an hour for an orange, we were gone. All her possessions tipped out on the floor. No sign of her husband, no sign of her son, no note, no forwarding address. Frantically, she flew from friend to colleague to the theatre, and finally, to the police. The discipline was not worth arguing with. The family tolerated her, but my mamushu, my mother, was never acknowledged. I was encouraged to spurn her and cry and moan and spit. Each day we were allowed to spend an hour together, no matter what the weather. My poor mother had had to fight for that small right, but her small 4-year-old merely shouted and kicked in resistance until the big front door that kept out the Polish winter slammed shut, until we were out of sight of the second-floor windows, until we turned the first corner of ulica Warszawska. Oh, my mamusiu, the happiest hour of each and every day was never long enough. Dutifully, we would return to the apartment, and so would my insults and jibes on cue. I had learned to lie. I had learned to act.